It's the summer of 2016, and you find yourself in a crowd of 90,000 people at Wembley Arena, listening to quite a captivating speech by a Bulgarian entrepreneur known as Dr. Ruja Ignatova, presenting a new cryptocurrency that she's dubbing the Bitcoin Killer, but it's known officially as OneCoin. Now, in the background of her speech, you see a table displaying OneCoin as the world's second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization.
Bitcoin, 8 million market capitalization, over €500 per coin.
Now, regardless of the fact that market cap is widely referred to as a meaningless indicator of a project's success, it's 2016, and the fear of missing out combined with crypto naivety and the billions of dollars that investors are pouring into this coin makes it a no-brainer for you. It's time to invest. So when you get home, you visit the project's site and you pour in your savings. The friends that accompanied you to the speech are doing exactly the same. You've already heard about the dazzling success of Bitcoin, and now it's your time to shine. Now, it doesn't bother you that the currency isn't being traded yet, it lacks a blockchain or a payment mechanism, and it can only be bought through the site, because the market capitalization is the second largest globally. What could go wrong? Well, when we fast forward a year, Ruja Ignatova and her brother, the co-founder, have disappeared from the face of the earth. German financial authorities have issued cease and desist orders. The company's offices are being raided. You're hearing talk of a Ponzi scheme, a rug pull, but most importantly, the money you invested in OneCoin, it's now worthless. So what happened to Ruja? Surely the project must have collapsed with her investment in it. Well, not quite. Last year, it was discovered that she is the probable owner of a £13.5 million penthouse in Kensington, London. So where did she get that money, you ask? She's obviously got a failed business. You gave her that money. Behold, ladies and gentlemen, the rug pull. So what is a rug pull? Well, a rug pull is effectively a maneuver in which crypto developers or the project founders abandon a project after receiving investment, often disappearing off of the face of the earth. The creators often abandon the project by, without warning, withdrawing everything from the liquidity pool, driving the coin's price to zero. It's not uncommon for the project's founders to invest a significant amount of time and money into driving hype around the project through promises of wild API returns, right? And then ultimately pulling the rug. Today, they're most common where scammers might create a token and then list it on a DEX, a decentralized exchange. Rug pulls thrive here because decentralized exchanges allow users to list tokens for free and without audits, which are common in centralized exchanges. Many will often see a skyrocketing price on an unknown coin and invest their money due to the fear of missing out, or FOMO. But this is more of a warning sign than a signal to invest. A rug pull coin can gain 50 times its initial value within 24 hours. They want to draw unsuspecting investors in with massive returns, as we've talked about. Now, the only way that you can deem a project unruggable is if you're sure that large swathes of tokens are not in the possession of the founding team. In other words, think, is there someone holding onto the corners of the rug with the strength to pull it out from you, if they want to? So now let's look at the most common tactics used by the cheeky rug pullers themselves. First of all, there's liquidity theft. And this is one of the most common kinds of rug pull, and occurs when the project's founders withdraw all of the coins from the crypto liquidity pool. And this eliminates all of the value that investors have put into the currency straight away, and this pushes its value to zero. Liquidity is incredibly important for most functions on a decentralized exchange, as it governs things like yield farming, lend-borrow protocols, on-chain security, blockchain gaming, and automated market makers, among other things. One could think of it very morbidly as draining the blood from an organism. Next up, we've got the limiting of selling orders. Oftentimes, the developers of rug pull crypto projects may implement an anti-selling mechanism into the token, and this can be interpreted as innocent, right? The developers simply don't want to have the price driven down by a lot of selling before they've had the time to up the token's utility, right? However, this plays into the pockets of the founders and means that they're able to run off with 100% of whatever anyone puts in. Dumping occurs when the project's founders sell off their own enormous supply of tokens, when the price of the token reaches a desirable amount. And as a result, the coin's value plummets and the surviving investors are left with useless tokens. Dumping can also occur after an extensive promotion campaign on social media. The resultant price increase and sell-off is often referred to as pumping and dumping. Here, developers utilize false information to inflate the price of a cryptocurrency so that they may then sell it and profit. In certain situations, these attackers employ well-known celebrities to promote cryptocurrencies on their social media accounts. For example, Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather Jr. were paid to inflate the price of Ethereum Max, after which the firm's founders pocketed the gains and left investors with useless cryptocurrency. And now we've talked about the tactics involved in a rug pull. It's time for some case studies. Let's now take a look at the biggest and the baddest rug pulls out there. First up is Squid Game. Now, the Squid Game token was, sold as a play-to-earn token that was marketed by the Netflix series Squid Game. The idea was that investors would be able to buy tokens in advance, which would have utility in an upcoming game that was based on the show. And interest was all around. Shortly after, more than 40,000 investors drove the price of the token above $2,500. Now then, the team behind it pulled the plug and made off with heaps of money. And this is a pretty recent rug pull too, and as a result, it's documented on places like Twitch. Check this out. This guy actually reacted live to the rug pull.
The market cap is $2.168 trillion. And now the market, it went to zero! Yo!
Squid Game is also a perfect example of sell order limiting. Such a mechanism was implemented into the coin. Now, Anubis can be seen as your classic run-of-the-mill rug pull. And it's pretty funny too, as Anubis is the Egyptian god of the dead, so we really should have seen this one coming. The project launched an initial token sale on the Copper platform last year. Participants contributed Ether in exchange for Anubis tokens that were distributed when the sale concluded. This sale started on October the 28th and attracted a lot of interest from investors who contributed over $60 million worth of Ether in just under 24 hours. And then, with just hours left until the sale concluded, 13,597 Ether was removed from the token sale pool and sent to an address that's actually now publicly available. Check it out. The liquidity was completely withdrawn from the trading pool, which left the token dead in the water, with no way out for its investors. I mean, come on, this happened around Halloween. Was the Egyptian god of the dead involved? Come on, who invested $60 million in this? Sometimes rug pulls aren't that obvious, and sometimes they can be disputed too. Indeed, if your project is big, you ought to be clever about it, right? $50 million in various cryptocurrencies disappeared from the automated market maker platform Uranium Finance in April of 2021, practically overnight. Now, the team behind the project to this day claims that funds were stolen and are employing a number of professionals to get to the bottom of it. Uranium argued that the hackers took advantage of bugs in the project's balance modifier logic, and this enabled them to inflate the balance by a factor of 100 and ultimately to drain roughly $50 million from the platform. However, it's already a year later and there's no sign of the funds. So the ever-vocal crypto community firmly believes that this was an inside job, and it's hard to argue with them. Rug pulls are also pretty rampant in GameFi, and the upcoming play-to-earn revolution has been a breeding ground for pumping and dumping. For example, the Animoon NFT project promised real-world travel, clothing giveaways, comics, and a secret project even in the works with Netflix. 15 legendary Animoon NFTs also promised dividends that were issued monthly ad infinitum. The Animoon project was a bit of a slow burner, and by the time it was rug pulled, it already had a history of over-promising and under-delivering. In June of 2022, the project was rugged completely. The team behind the project closed up shop completely after draining relevant smart contracts of value. And the team as a result made away with $6.3 million in tokens, and they deleted the project's website and Twitter feed before shutting down conversations on its Discord server. Now, these rug pulls that we've looked at have all happened more or less over the past year, and it's likely that more are on their way. So you, as a budding crypto enthusiast, need to be sure that the projects you're investing in are legitimate. Now here's another one. NFT rug pulls are also a thing, which sounds quite strange as with NFTs you're purchasing a piece of artwork, right? The price of which is always determined by market demand and not by the project's creators, right? Well, not quite. NFTs are often valued high due to the potential of their associated projects and utilities. The founder of Baller Ape Club, Lee Ann Traun, collected $2.6 million from NFT buys, only to then delete the organization's website and attempt to launder the ill-gotten funds through different cryptocurrencies, moving them across multiple blockchains. This isn't all that uncommon either. Oftentimes, an NFT project's creator will sell NFTs on false promises of community benefits and utilities, only to just abandon the project and run away with investors' funds. And at the time of filming this video, the trial is still ongoing. So look, now that we've looked at some case studies, I'm going to give you some top tips on avoiding a rug pull. First of all, is there a team or founder listed on the website? One of the easiest methods of spotting red flags is by searching for the team behind the DeFi project. If the team is anonymous or there's no listed founder, that should definitely be a cause for concern. Now, number two, has the project had a security audit and was it done correctly? It's recommended that each DeFi project has at least one security audit done on its latest code base, and moreover, this audit should have been performed by a reputable company, so check that out. Number three is check whether the project is offering reasonable returns. Investors should always keep an eye on the returns that projects are offering. Often, projects with the potential for a rug pull offer investors staggering returns for their investment. For example, Whale Farm, a project that stole $2.3 million from investors, promised returns of a whopping 7,217,848% APY. Believable? I think not. And also, what is the project's community like? It's always a really good sign if the project has a healthy presence on social networks, including strong communication and community feedback, right? You should always check their Instagram. Who are their followers? What's their community like? Do they interact with the project itself? Next, always take a look at their white paper. Another pointer for identifying fake accounts is the absence of a comprehensive white paper that captures the goals of the project. Think about how well thought out the roadmap is. It's likely that a project looking to pull the rug isn't going to spend much time on its legal statements, so check that it hasn't just been copied and pasted by putting it through an online plagiarism detector. Very easy and totally free to do. And also, is the token price a little bit off the wall? Sudden spikes in the price of a token in the space of a few hours are also used to bait investors, but they can also hint at project instability. Look for stable trends and think to yourself, do these price movements seem a bit fishy? So look, crypto is the Wild West. That's no secret. Even in 2022, with Web3 just around the corner and crypto adoption accelerating like never before, there are bandit wagons running rampant, rug pulling and yanking at every corner. So we hope this video has done four things. First of all, given you an overview of what a rug pull is. Second of all, explained the methods used in a rug pull. Thirdly, presented some examples of recent rug pulls in the crypto world. And lastly, provided you with a checklist for your next startup crypto investment. And if we've managed to do all of that, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell notification too, so you're always up to date when we upload a new video. My name is Bradley. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you in the next video.